Jet lag's a bitch. What's happening, my fellow geeks and geekettes? Welcome to a brand new episode of Cosplay Chris, and today I'm going to be doing a quick review of the Deadpool 2 Super Duper cut, which is out now on Blu-ray and DVD. Now, firstly, I hope you guys enjoyed that little montage at the beginning of this video. It's pretty safe to say that GeekCon 2018 was a complete and utter success. I had the best time. It was so good to be back again. I was previously there in 2016. Got home yesterday morning. The jet lag is real. Slept for about 12 hours last night and I kept waking up really spaced out, really out of it, thinking I was still back in the States, but then I'm like, oh, I'm home. So my good friends over at Digital Fox sent me the Super Duper cut, as well as a swear jar and the not so suitable book for children, and also a whoopee cushion. Now, if you guys want to check out my Deadpool 2 theatrical cut review when it came out in cinemas, I'll leave the link down below. I gave it 4 geeks out of 5, so today's episode is to see what is added into this new cut, the extended cut, the Super Duper cut. Does it bring it up a few pegs or does it bring it down a few pegs? I'm going to go through some of the added scenes in this cut. I'm not going to go through all of them because there are quite a few. Some parts are just little bits of dialogue here and there, but I'm going to go over the best ones, the ones that really amp this film up. And also I'm going to go over the special features because there are a lot. So firstly, let's start at the beginning of the film. The first change comes when Deadpool faces off with the Chinese gangsters. Upon crashing through a window, he apologizes and says he thought this bar was full of villains and was an anal bleaching party. In the theatrical cut, he simply counts the men in Spanish before opening fire. I actually think the added scene is funnier than counting in Spanish. Now, when they break out in gunfire, there are some added bits here and there, including Deadpool taking a cigarette off one of the waitresses and saying smoking's bad for you. Now, the fight in the Tokyo bathhouse is also much longer in this cut. And when Deadpool comes face to face with a massive man's groin, an alternate line is used. So he says, "Looks like you left a little landing strip there." Deadpool says, "I like it." In the theatrical cut, there is a Boy Scout leader joke. Does it work? Either way, it's fine. I like either one. Not going to go into the specifics of this one, but there is some more added dialogue between Deadpool and Doppender in the taxi at the beginning of the film. Also between Wade and Weasel in the bar. Now, these are the two scenes I really like, really dig, and I'm really glad that they added them in this Super Duper cut. It's when Wade tries to commit suicide. One of the added suicide attempts is when Deadpool goes to the zoo and throws himself in the polar bear pool. The other attempt shows Deadpool drinking a bottle of drain cleaner before throwing himself off a ledge, which of course fails. Now, when Wade gets rescued by Colossus and they take him back to the mansion, there is a full added scene between himself, Colossus, Negasonic Teenage Warhead Yukio. Wade's dressed very preppy, he's trying to be a good person, trying to be an uphold-abiding citizen. Does it work? For sure. I do like the fact that they threw this one in. The dialogue is pretty snappy, the jokes are on point. So let's fast forward to the mutant prison where Wade and Russell are being held prisoner. During Wade's first fight with Cable, Wade asks the soldier different questions about the future. Is dubstep still a thing? Do people still homebrew? Does Doppender find love? Works for me. When Wade and Weasel are trying to recruit the X-Force, there is a bit more dialogue between them and Peter. We also learn that Peter is a type 1 and type 2 diabetic. That's so messed up. Now, this bit of dialogue was actually added in the trailer and taken away in the theatrical cut when Cable unloads a clip into Deadpool. In the trailer, he says, "Wow, those bullets are really fast." In the theatrical cut, it was removed, but it is now back in the Super Duper cut. The scene in the theatrical cut when Deadpool's got the fence paling through his head and he's trying to have sex with Colossus, he's doing all those hand gestures. There is more of that in the extended cut, and it was probably the hardest I laughed in the whole film. I was giggling my ass off, so I'm glad that they really extended upon that and just gave it even more filth. So those are my picks for the newly included bits of dialogue and scenes in this extended cut. As for the during credit scenes, these are the ones I really feel like are worth mentioning. After killing the version of Deadpool from X-Men Origins Wolverine, the Merc had a lot more to say to Logan in the new cut. He says, "Look, eventually you're gonna hang up the claws and it's gonna make a lot of people very sad. But one day your old pal Wade's gonna ask you to get back in the saddle, and when he does, say yes." Very clever, very witty, very tongue-in-cheek. Now, this part was completely wiped from the theatrical cut and is now included in this cut. This is when Wade goes back in time to kill Hitler. It has Adolf Hitler there as a baby. Wade goes to kill him, but instead says, let's just get Cable to do it. And with that, Wade changes Adolf Hitler's diaper. So guys, overall, those are the scenes that I feel like are worth mentioning. Like I said, there are a ton more of little bits of dialogue here and there that are added into this film. Now, does it bring it up a notch? Does it really expand upon the Deadpool universe and Deadpool 2 as a whole? My opinion, yes, very much so. I gave it a 4 geeks out of 5 for the theatrical release. I'm actually gonna give it 4.5 geeks out of 5 for this one because again, it's fan service. I mean, come on, the marketing behind these two films is extraordinary, right up there with the viral campaign for The Dark Knight, and that was back in 2008. So in terms of the special features, there are a lot. I'm gonna rattle them off right now. Prepare yourselves. We've got a gag reel, we've got the deleted, extended scenes which weren't in this cut, but they just kept them in anyway in the special
features, which is great. David Lynch, not Lynch, directing Deadpool 2, Until Your Face Hurts, more alternate takes, the Deadpool prison experiment, 3-minute monologue, Deadpool's fun sack 2, the most important X-Force member, Deadpool family values, so that's the cast and characters and a breakdown of little featurettes, roll with the punches, action and stunts, so a stunt featurette. We've also got commentary by Ryan Reynolds, David Leitch, and some other crew members, chest with a mega red, swole and entity, Deadpool's lips are sealed, secrets and Easter eggs, and also some stills.
So guys, overall, I feel like this is a great step up for Deadpool 2, even though I couldn't really fathom that they could step it up even more. The sequel is definitely just as good as the first. My only gripe really from Deadpool 2, and I think I mentioned it in my Deadpool 2 theatrical review, is that the charm and the thrill of getting a Deadpool movie was kind of gone. But that really doesn't matter. They amped it up. The humor's there again, if not more. So like I said, 4.5 geeks out of 5 for the Deadpool 2 Super Duper cut. Guys, thank you so much as always for watching. When you see Deadpool 2 the Super Duper cut, please drop a comment below. Let me know your thoughts on the additional dialogue and the additional scenes. Now at the moment, I am sporting my Whiplash casual wear, so I am kind of gearing up to also do a casual look of Whiplash when he's working with Justin Harron. He's got the bird on his shoulder. I have found a stuffed bird that I will be buying off eBay, and I will have it magnetized on my shoulder, so that should be pretty funny. Actually, hang on, I'll show you the glasses I got. I got these from the cheap shop yesterday. Oh, I just poked myself in the eye. Stuff weird as shit. Guys, have yourselves a cracker of a day. I hope you're well, hope you're happy. Be merry, be silly, and until next time, geeks, please always remember, cosplayers do it best.